grassroots sports is the bedrock of any great sporting nation. That is where the raw talents are. And that is where you find the best of the best. Of course, you fish them out, you develop them. And from there, they could be turned into global superstars. And of course, we can't neglect the grassroots. And we say we're doing sports. And that is why Sport Drill on Pensioners 106.7 FM has been created and designed to look deeply into grassroots sports within the United States and of course furthermore Nigeria. But today we are in the United States. And of course, in case you are just tuning in, this is the program Sport Drill, you can call it the voice for the grassroots or the voice of grassroots sports. And of course, here comes another edition, another episode that promises to be educative, informative, exciting, and of course, I want to believe a lot of us will be impacted upon. I like they used to say, I work without play makes Jack a dull boy. But I say everything without sports, it makes me the dullest guy ever live it. I remain in Raymond to Lulokwe, the Sport Illuminator. I say you welcome on board. Of course, I've got my guests in the building already. And what are we going to look at? Definitely different from every other sport you can ever think. But then you just sit down, relax, and let's get it on. Of course, you can watch us live on Facebook, Pensioners FM. Pensioners FM on Facebook. You can watch us live. Like I said, my guest is seated, so it's time to introduce him. Today we're looking at the game of Ayo. Trado sports, Ayo. Many people might have heard that, but then I think today we'll look deeply into it. Even me myself, I think I need to learn one or two things. Not one or two things, many things about this game called Ayo. Trado sports. I'm known it as Ayo Lokmo. But then we're going to hear from the horse's mouth. I've got the chairman of Trado sports Association right here in your state, Dr. Joshua Faleye, right here with me in the building. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm actually Faleye.
Okay, Faleye.
Yeah. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome to Pensioners 106.7 FM.
You're welcome, sir.
So you heard his voice. He's a doctor. So a little bit of introduction of my guest before we go into discussion proper. Okay, Dr. Faleye is a dentist who hails from Igana, Iwajowa, local government area of your state. A school at Igana for his primary school education and went to Igana High School for his secondary before moving further to University of Ibadan for his tertiary education. And that was between 1990 to 1998. He started as a dental officer for your state in 2001. Married with 3 boys. Apparently, Deputy Director Secondary Health Care in the Ministry of Health. Right here in your state. a lover of the game and nominated as vice chairman by Chief Obakin, who died 2 years ago. And since then, he has been acting till it's regularized. Of course, he came first in the last state competition of Trado Sports held at Sasha in July last year. He came first. So that's a bit of his biography. Dr. Joshua Faleye, chairman of your state Trado Sports. You're welcome and go on board once again, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to look into so many things. Trado Sport, I've heard about I've had Ayolokmo, yes, traditionally. I've heard a lot about it. But then I think we need to look. I didn't even know it could turn into a competition or a game now that is, could have an association. So let's start from this. From your growing up, how was your journey into the sporting world? Your journey into the sporting world?
Thank you, Raymond. And I say good afternoon to everybody at home. As I've been introduced, I'm Dr. Faleye, Ministry of Health. I started playing the game in 1986 after my secondary school. In fact, precisely after the World Cup, which Argentina won that year. And how did I get into it? My father was a player before he died some 12 years ago. And I have always been there in the early 70s before I picked interest in the game. I observed that people are always happy when they are there. And later I discovered that you thereafter be happy after the game. Therefore, I didn't have any regret going into the game.
In 1986, you started playing this game.
Yes.
You did just, of all games, of all sports, I mean, there are plethora of sports, but then something might have pushed you to go for Ayo.
It is the love that existed between those who are playing it and the kind of gest that they make. I've never seen or heard where people fight where they're playing Ayolokon. People do fight in other games like football, like table tennis and others. But never will you see anybody fight while playing Ayolokon. And that's why Yoruba says, Ere la Foma Yoshe is exclusively for play.
For the fun.
For the fun of it. You don't fight there. In fact, it's abhorred. It's least expected that you fight. No matter the level of jest or play that people make fun of you, you dare not fight. So that was what pushed me there, because I'm a complete gentleman myself. So who hate fighting? So I felt that's the only place I belong.
So that means before you started playing Ayolokmo, does that mean when you were going, you didn't do any other sports?
Like a child.
Yes.
I was a keeper.
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, yes. Since I had injury.
Okay.
And I had fracture of the left hand in 1981 when I finished my primary school. Since that time, my parents said I should never even go near where football is. So that made me turn my back off any sport, especially the one that are not indoor, the physical ones. So that made me pick interest in the indoor game, especially Ayu, because as people will be enlightened in the course of the discussion, it's extremely mathematical and it needs principle of logic for you to be a champion.
Extremely mathematical,
Yeah, and
logical. The principle of logic.
Yes.
We're going to learn that today because I really want to. I've seen people play. I just actually think, what magic are they performing? All I see is they count 1, 2, 3, a pick again, and I just feel like, what are they playing? It doesn't look interesting. But today, definitely people watching us at home will learn, because we got the game here itself. The Ayolokpo itself is here, and we're going to be displaying that. So anywhere you are, Personals FM on Facebook, you will be seeing everything we are doing today. Of course, we're going to the game. Okay, let's go into the game itself.
Yes, sir.
What is the game called Ayo or Trado Sports?
Ayu Olopon is one of the traditional sports called Trado sports, as we have said. It has various forms. The one we play here in Yoruba land is called Ayolopon. Ayolopon means Ayo is the seed that grows in the bush. In fact, it's very, very thorny. It has a lot of sharp objects that can pierce your hand if you go near it.
Okay.
Inside that pod is where you get Ayo. And it's extremely smooth, round. So that's Ayo. Olopon means Opon is the bud.
Okay.
People that are looking at me on Facebook will see this is the bud of Ayo Olopon. So this is Ayo,
Okay.
then this is bud. The bud has 12 holes put together, 12 sharp holes. And each hole has 4 seeds. So the total number of seeds therein is 48.
48.
So divided into 2, which is 24
24.
on each side.
Okay.
So there are 2 sides, just like football. You have the opposing team and the attacking team. So there are 2 sides. And each side, just like the word itself, and the midline between them is called the neutral. Principally and scientifically, the world is divided into 3. The positive, the negative, and the neutral. You can't find anything more than that.
Yes.
And that's what we have in Ayolokon. Ayolokon is like the word that is simplified into a board.
Okay.
That's just the meaning.
The word simplified.
Simplified into a board.
A board.
So as we play the game, we are trying to mimic the events of the world. So there are technical aspects of the game, there are philosophical aspects. The technical aspect is you play and win. That's okay. And the philosophical, it's just like somebody who studied mathematics in the university. There's a difference between mathematics and applied mathematics.
Okay.
Applied mathematics is what they use in manufacturing cars, even all this. They are applied mathematics. It's different from X plus Y is equal to Z. That's mathematics. But the applied one is the one that you infer something from those principles. So how you has its own principle, but the inferential aspect of it is the philosophical aspect of it. So which goes beyond the board itself. It's like putting the whole world, or the American, the Africa, the Europe, every continent of the world, represented by the board. And the activity therein are human activities that we perform on daily basis. So that is how you for you in simplest term.
In simplest terms.
Yeah.
As simple as it looks like, it still looks complex in my brain because
I can tell you that I've been playing it for 34 years.
34
I've
years.
played in every town of Southwest. That's a lot of adventure, as you may call
Yes.
it. I don't know up to half of it. Even the best player in Nigeria does not know up to half of it. It is a complex game that doesn't have an end. And I can tell you, it is one of the wonders of the world. You know, we have 7 wonders of the world.
Yes.
All this hanging garden and the pyramid of Egypt and all that. Those are the world. But in Africa, in Yoruba land here, this is the wonder of our forefathers. Because nobody knows it all. It's like the principle of the world. Only God knows it all. So it looks simple. It's 4 seeds. When we go to the technical aspect, maybe when we get there, we explain how the game is being played. But the word Ayolokon is like the whole world that is simplified into a board. Yeah.
The whole word simplified into a board. I don't know. How did this? Who I don't know if there's someone who came about this. We just sat down, just think that this is what, just like you said, it's not in our Yoruba land. We now sat down, just felt, think about this game.
Okay. Like I always say, my guests, I mean my moderator, people of old are very intelligent. I can say that anywhere. This is one of the products of their intelligence. The origin of Ayu itself is unknown to anybody, but I'm sure it's a collective effort of the intelligence of people of old. They come down and say, okay, they might have started with maybe 2 seeds and they found out that it's not working. Then later it was moved to 3 seeds. Then it was discovered that it's not working. Then they found the balance of 4. And if you look at it scientifically, even God of heaven made 4 a balanced equation. Look at the animals. Animals that walk on their 4 feet are more balanced than those of us that walk on our 2 feet. They are more stable. So 4 is just the answer. So that's why they came about putting 4 in each hole. And you should not shop up to 4. The maximum you can shop is 3, and the minimum is 2.
The maximum you can chop is
3, and the minimum is 2.
You talk about the pod,
Yes.
the food itself.
Yes.
Where is the food? Where do they get that food?
It's in the bush.
What is the name of the? I mean, the name of
The tree. It's a creeper. Just like you have beans and some other thing that creep.
Okay.
So, but it's full of thorns, egun, all over the body, both the stem and the pod that bears ayo.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate that this is not the season. I will have brought the pod, wherein we open the pod just like ewa.
Okay.
You open the pod and you found the seed therein. Usually it's 2. But on rare occasion you find like 1 or 3, but usually the one that's inside the pod, they're usually 2. So it's a natural, let's call it, it's not a fruit, but it's a natural seed.
It just grow on its own.
It grew on its own. Nobody plants it. But you can't move it from one place to the other. And it also depends on the soil where it grows. There's one area in my town, we call that place Otubu. The sand there, it will grow very tiny, such that when you take 4 of those seeds, it will be equivalent to this one in weight that I'm holding.
Okay.
So if you are playing, like me, I'm a versatile player. I've played on so many areas. There are some that once they play like that, you miss a lot of things because the seeds are very small, very tiny. So the kind of soil that you plant it will determine the size of the seed. So it's a wonder of nature.
Like you said, I mean,
As smooth as it is, the tree is very, very thorny.
wow.
You dare not go near it, even though the seed, and that is exactly with life. If I've ever watched how a woman is being delivered, you know it's a very painful process. But the moment the child is delivered, joy assumes. You get. So exactly, it's the same thing, the same principle with you. Where we normally have, it has wounded my hand several times in those days when we were young, when we were going to collect it. It has wounded me. You have a lot of blood coming from your hand. At the moment it gets to where you play it with peace and
with
joy.
Happiness.
But it's not easy to collect this seed, as you see.
Fantastic. Ayo Olokpo. Wow. Personal FM is live on Facebook. You can watch us. Moving forward. Now let's go to the basics of the game. How is Ayo? Okay, you said it's, of course, 12 4 seats into one, and the techniques of it. How is it being scored?
What? Just like 48 is an even number.
I need to stand up so that I can even myself can see.
48 is an even number. So it is assumed that you are starting from neutral. Just like when we were learning driving those days. They will tell you this is the neutral gear, Abi.
Yes.
Then you have gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, and gear 4 before they now introduce the 5th gear. Now, the game is assumed to be neutral. The two sides have equal seats. When somebody moved, you move anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means you are moving opposite the direction of the clock. Okay. The clock moves in the right.
Yes.
Then you are moving onto the left. So you play it like this. So the opponent also plays his own like this, depending on what you are playing. There are so many techniques. So the whole essence is that you dare not shop 4 seeds because you are starting with 4. So now you play again. I'll just play to where I will chop 1. Then you play like this. Then this one plays like this and chop this.
Okay.
So that is 3. Now, the other one also play like this, play like this, you play like this, you play like this. Then the other one also chop. The thing ends here. So you carry where it ends.
Okay.
If you have two preceding it, 2 or 3 preceding it, you are allowed to carry it. But you are not allowed to carry one.
One. Okay.
So after everything, an average is an average. If the two of them are expert, you have an average of 20 steps before you can win. I've just played like four steps now. You have the average of 20 steps. At the end of the steps, anybody that has 24 and above
Okay.
is automatically the winner.
24
and above.
and above.
It assumed that 24 is what you started with.
Okay.
If you now have 25, then Otijere. That means the person has outsmarted his opponent. So if you are playing with somebody, the expert is called Ota.
Okay.
That's people that are experts. They know how to play it very well, just like myself and some others too. So people that is not as good as them, they are called Okwe.
Okwe.
Okwe means ignorance. You are
Akota,
ignorant.
Akokwe.
Yoruba will say Mokokwe, Mokota. Then the right answer will be Otanje. Whoever is the champion will say Otanje Okwe ni Ogbodo Fon. It's like an oppression. That when a guy is talking, when the elders are talking, the listener will just keep quiet. Or the younger one will keep quiet. So
we're going to do something. We're still going to play that game one more time because I want somebody who is watching to see how it's being done. We're still going to play because I know some people might just be interested. So in case we're going to still do the demonstration, the chairman is going to do the demonstration once again for you in case you're watching us live on Pensioners FM live. Just go to Facebook, Pensioners FM on Facebook so that you can see. We're going to do that techniques again and let me see how the game. So let's do a kind of rearrangement of the game from the beginning yet again.
So maybe you can play it together and
You will beat me. Me, I'm Okwe already. You are the other.
Don't worry, I'll tell you what to play. Then you will win. I will make you win.
I'll become a champion. Okay. A little bit of a practice of trying to get the game played. So you can watch us live, like I said, on Facebook, Pensioners FM. Just want to do some kind of practice so that you can see how it's being played. Talking about the game called Ayo. So you can watch us live.
So
okay. So
play like this.
I pick this.
Yeah.
I go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Shop it. Put it there.
Okay, because it's 3. Okay. I should click.
Please.
Okay, this one.
You can't shop in your own.
Okay.
Your own house. You can only shop in the other person's house. Play that.
This for me?
Yeah.
I should take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can only move one step.
One step. Okay. This.
I'm playing the 7th step now.
Okay. I take this one here. This.
Yeah, shop it.
I've chopped this one. I'm leading you like play. Okay, I'll take this. Wow, this is much. Personal FM.
Go to hell here. Just continue.
Okay. Personal FM on Facebook. Doing a practice of how the game of Ayolokpo is being played.
You don't put, the law is that you don't put where you started from.
Okay.
You can only continue and crocus and you omit that place.
Okay. Next is okay. Yes.
Wait.
I've dropped this one too. Okay, this one.
Shop it. It's 2.
I've dropped this one too.
Shop it. It's 2.
Drop this one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Getting interesting right here in the studio. Like I said, you can watch us live on Facebook, Pensioners FM. And of course, doing a practice of how the game of Ayo Olokmo is being played. You can hear the sound. I think I started from here. Okay. This I top this one.
No.
Okay, it's
You
mine.
can shop in your own house.
Okay, my own house. Okay.
So,
This, yeah. Okay. This one, yeah.
shop it.
This mine. Okay. Seems like I'm leading a bit. Okay.
Okay.
The game of Ayo Olokmo.
Shop it.
Chop this one as well. Interesting.
So this.
Almost to the end of the game. And of course, it's still Ayo Olokmo. I'm with the chairman, Trado Sports.
No. I play one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm with the chairman, Trado Sports, right here in the studio of Pensioners 106.7 FM. If you are watching, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Put it there.
Okay.
So my own remains 1. Your own is 2.
My own is 2. So who won?
No, we
Okay,
now arrange it.
We arrange again.
We have finished the game.
Okay.
We now arrange and see who wins.
Okay.
Whoever gets
The highest. Okay.
and above.
All right. Now one is this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
That's 20.
Okay, 20.
Plus 2, 22.
Oh, that's 22.
So you can see that we're almost at the same.
Almost. So the highest gets
the winner gets 24 and above. That's 25. Anything from 25. Then if you now come at 24 each, that means it's a draw.
Okay, that's a draw.
Okay. And it's acceptable too.
Okay, it's acceptable. It's a draw. Do we have to play back again?
We have to play back
to
again.
determine the winner.
So if you are playing under just for leisure and it's not competition, the first to get to 3 is the winner.
Okay, first to get to 3.
So the first to get to 3. Usually Yoruba, before Trinity comes to Yoruba land,
okay,
we have already had our own Trinity. They believe, the people of old believe that anything that can repeat itself 3 times is not ordinary.
Okay.
That's why they have a proverb that says, "Okweni kweni, okweni kweji, okweti kwetausi." That means you can mistakenly lose one game, you can lose another one, but the moment the person wins you the 3rd one, he has become ota. So once, if you allow yourself to make 2 mistakes, it's allowed.
Okay.
And it's forgivable.
But
the 3rd one is no longer a superiority. That's just and it happens in real life too.
In real life, yes.
You know, when we were writing JAMB in those days, they would say 5 credits in not more than 2 sittings. Once it's more than 2 sittings, that means you belong to the other class. So first is allowed. We are allowed to make the first mistake. You are even allowed to make the second mistake. The moment it becomes number 3, then it's not a mistake any longer. It's either it's intentional or your level does not pass that level. Sure.
All right, it's still Sport Drill on Personals 106.7 FM. Agbari Goniye in the city of Ibadan. Prince Oyedapo Adekunle Akinlolu, I can see you on Facebook. Thanks for your comments. He said, kudos to you, guy. Keep the sport moving. Raymond. The game you play with the chairman of Trado Sport was as if you've been playing it before. Kudos to you. Thank you. I've been talking with the chairman of your state, Trado Sport, Dr. Joshua Faleye. I've been talking Trado Sport, Ayo Lokmola, we all know. Okay, moving further now. The duration of play determines.
It's dependent on the expertise of the two players.
Okay.
If you are playing with Okwe, you end up the game in less than 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes.
But we are two professionals.
Two professionals, it can take like 5 minutes.
5 minutes
for one game to end.
Okay.
In fact, the best in Nigeria is in Ilefe. You can even think for 5 minutes on a single step.
Think for 5 minutes on a single step.
Because it involves a lot of thinking. The game that we played, before we got to that level, because had you play anything less, you just see that you have lost. Anything other than the directive.
Okay.
Because it's being guarded by laws. And those laws, you have to know them.
What are some of the laws?
Sir?
Some of the laws of the game.
Some of the laws. It's under those people that read psychology.
Okay.
Who did logic. That is Aristotle logic. They know about logic. Something that's why they say it is logical. That means it's within normal range. If I can't start stating the law one by one because some of the laws you get to know them in practice.
All right.
That's I dare not. If somebody moves with number 1, I dare not move with number 5. That's automatic death. So it's like each hand is complementary.
Okay.
And each hand could be lethargic. Lethargic, what I mean by lethargic is it could be leather. That's death. But thank God the death of you is not a life death. You will resurrect almost immediately.
Yeah.
But at least relative to that game, if I move with a certain hand, you dare not move. You learn with time. You dare not move on the contrary. If you do, you automatically lost. And in competition, it's the first to get to 3. So if I win 1, you win 1, I win 1, they will continue. Unlike when you are playing for fun. So you get to 3 straight. If I win you 2 and you cut at number 3, the 2 I won had been nullified. Yes. Ordinarily, if you are playing at home. But if you are playing for competition, each point counts. Each one you win counts. So, in those days when Ayo was invented, they didn't plan for competition. It was intended to be played after you have finished your day work, especially in the evening, when you have moved from farm or during some festival like Egungun or any other festival that people gather together and relax. It was exclusively for relaxation.
Okay.
But later we discovered that there are some principles of logic that are there. And that's why like the one I did at Oshogbo, I came third. That was 2 years ago. That was organized by Simon Aromatic Shinap. I came third. Somebody from Ogumosho came second. Then the man from Oshogbo came first. And there's always a narrow margin between first, second, or third. So they're always in the same rank. So what I'm trying to say is that the logic aspect of it is what we want to bring out by organizing competition. So, and by the time we get there, you will see that your state is trying to discover some talent. because before people believe Ayo is just for the aged,
Recreation.
even the aged, the
Okay.
Arugbos, the illiterates. Some people believe it is the wizards that are playing Ayo. Until I got there, I used to have the same impression too. But for my father played it. I was born into it.
Okay.
So I started playing it as early as 70s, like 1975 when we were in primary school. I started playing it. But I didn't get fully involved until after my secondary school in 1986. So, but now I can say authoritatively that it doesn't belong to the court. It's just purely recreation and to test your temperament. Because sometimes they can make you to be angry.
Wow.
But because of the principle of that game, that you dare not fight, it is forbidden for anybody to fight. So it tests your temperament and it makes you more matured. So.
Okay, studio lines open officially 09081 11 10 67, 09081 11 10 67, or 080 80 10 10 67, 080 80 10 10 67. You can send me a message on WhatsApp 090 26 72 26 72 10 42, 090 72 090 26 72 10 42, and of course I'm going to take all your questions if you have some for my guests. So let's go to the development of the game in Oyo State. How is Ayo in Oyo State itself? The development, the success story of Ayo in Oyo State.
Well, all glory to God, and we thank our governor, who is indefatigable and who is interested in making sure that Oyo State remains the pace setter. We have the last national competition that was held. Oyo State came first in Ayo.
What year was that?
That was 2019.
Okay, last year.
Came first in Ayo. Then they came second in the paired game. Yeah, there's one they call the pair. They pair two people together.
Okay.
Came,
Doubles, like the doubles.
Yeah, double, yeah. They came first in double, second in the single, then first in another one. Because then we have females too. We have female section.
Okay.
We also came second there. So I can say that we're trying to develop it and raise it up to a very high standard. Ayo is being played very much in Ekiti. They played very well. I played in so many towns in Ekiti, and I know they are wonderful players. So Oyo State, we are getting to that, or even planning to overtake them in the course of time.
Okay, trying to overtake them because of time. Yeah. So national championship comes up every year or once or biennial?
That's national festival.
Okay, that national sports festival.
National sports festival.
Okay, is there a national competition for the game itself? Maybe Nigeria, or is there any competition within Oyo State for the game?
Yeah, let me start from within Oyo State.
Okay.
There are various competitions. Like the last one that was held a few months ago, which was won by the number one in Nigeria. It was this company. I don't know whether I will be marketing for them if I mention their name. So they organized it at Olioli Estate.
Okay.
And we all went there. I did not even partake. So it was won by the number one in Nigeria. So periodically, they normally have competition. Periodically.
Okay.
One politician can just quick up and say, okay, I want to, just to improve the game, I want to organize a competition. And they organize it. So, but it's not structured like football that, by this time you have this season, by this time you have to, no.
It's not that it has a timetable?
No, it doesn't have a timetable. So that's for Oyo State. They can organize. There was a time, I think it stopped about a few years ago, in Ibadan House. Every year that they organize this Ibadan Festival.
Okay.
We normally I've come second, I've come third there. I've never come first there. Ibadan House. So the last one we did was at Shasha. That was Oyo State competition, which I came first, and that was 2 years ago too. So it depends on who organizes what. So there's no timetable for it.
No timetable. Okay, but is there
But for federal national
National
competition for
competition.
IU itself, to my knowledge, no.
There's none. So, just like I said, the organization of any community depends on anybody. I can also stand up today and
They
say,
say I want to
I want to.
organize
Okay, but Oyo State, does it have its own? Oyo State, named in Oyo State, maybe championed by Oyo State government or the National Sport Council, or possibly by the association itself.
The last administration wanted to start something like that, as it never saw the light of the day. For now, I would say no.
No. Okay. How many coaches are training? The athletes, the IU players.
We have one coach. That's Mr. Adegoke.
Just one coach.
Yeah.
To how many players?
Let me say to about 15 players. People come from Ogumosho, from Oyo, from Ibarapa, okay, Ogun. They come to Adamasingba Stadium here.
Okay, to come on.
To
The indoor
game, yeah, indoor section.
Okay, I think I have a question on Facebook. Prince Oyedapo Adekunle says, my question is, do we have young lad now playing this game? And if someone wants to join playing, how do we go about it?
Yeah, I'd wanted to say that. I said before, people believe it is only the aged. Or the witches and the wizards that play the game. But now we have professors. Like we have two professors from UI that we normally play together.
Okay.
I have a doctor, some other retired teacher, like Mr. Adekunle is a retired headmaster of a primary school. We play it together. Young boys and girls can play it. It's not sex discriminative. So anybody can play it. And if they want to play it, there are so many sections in Ibadan. I've played in more than 20 areas in Ibadan. We have in Mokola, in Nojo. But if the person wants to join, he can come to Adamasingba Stadium every Wednesday. They normally come every Wednesday to practice.
In the morning or evening?
And 11 to 2.
11 to 2 to practice.
Even people come from Abeokuta, they come from Ife, they come from Oyo to do the practice. So that when there's any national competition, we will not be caught unaware. And the coach is also there. So it's being played by anybody, but not for the underage who are supposed to be in secondary school.
Oh, okay. No. Not underage.
It is after secondary school that you are maybe in higher institution, you can use it for relaxation.
Okay. Okay, somebody is asking Temidayo Monty because it feels how you Trado sport. It feels why the English to validate our local sports. So why do you feel?
I know. We speak English because IU is now international. It's in Jamaica, it's in Brazil, it's all over the world. But they are trying to incorporate it into Olympic. So we speak English because we want to have a wider coverage. It's not only in Ibadan that people listen to Pensioners FM. It's heard all over the world. So anybody who listens to it will understand. At least English is our lingua franca.
Yes.
So it's not out of place. So professors play it, doctors play it, some highly placed people in in some other companies, they play it. I have many of them that are my rivals, and we play together. So it's not only for the aged, it's for anybody that is above 18.
Above 18?
Yeah.
So that means young lad, just above 18 is required to play the game.
Yeah. If they play it before 18, maybe in secondary school, it is just to sharpen their brain. And not for them to be obsessed.
Okay.
Because there could be obsession. If you are playing it, you might not be able to face your studies. And the fundamentals of education begins from primary school and is solidified in secondary school. If one misses that step, one might not be able to retrace the step again. But it is assumed that after secondary school, once you are okay, then sky is your limit. You must have been fully formed. That's why we chose 18 for anybody who wants to go for competition. Like the best in Nigeria now became the best at the age of 14.
The best in Nigeria today, now?
Yeah.
Became the
best. Lagos usually organize IU competition at Unilag. So I think he first went in 1988. He came third. By 89, he became best. Up to today, he's ever first.
I think we have a caller before we go straight. Hello?
Good afternoon, Raymond.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pamu Iliojo.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Doctor, I want to welcome you to this program.
Thank you, sir.
and to say that I've been seriously enlightened.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I want to tell that the pensioners of Oyo State Sports Council initiated a competition among the pensioners of Oyo State in 2018, precisely May 2018, which incorporated all the indoor games, and the highlight was the IU game. And the consequence upon this achievement, which was tagged as the first in Nigeria among pensioners, the state NUP has also incorporated into our program. And anytime from now, there is going to be collaboration between the Sports Council Pensioners Union and our parent body, that is Oyo State Sports, Oyo State Pensioners Union, to run a competition and in other games in throughout Oyo State, and that's going to be the first kind in Nigeria, if not in Africa, to organize such a game in Nigeria. And I'm very, very pleased listening to you, and that we will liaise with you very, very closely on the program and how to do it better. Thank you very much. So anytime from now, I'm going to liaise with my able secretary of Nigerian Pensioners in Oyo State branch, whom we are collaborating with to organize the competition. Thank you for the information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you, sir. That was Pamuli Ojo. And going forward, sir, is there any kind of special dressing? Let me say kit now. Let me use kit in sports. You know, every sport has its own kits and facilities they use. Is there any other special kit apart from this board and the IU itself that an athlete, a player of IU, needs to have
to be identified?
Yes.
Well, personally, I say no. But if I would recommend, I would just recommend the traditional native dress. That is what I'm wearing. Because it is our indigenous game. And we have to promote our indigenous culture. There's no uniform for now. But except maybe some elders like Pamu Iliojo sit down and develop one for us.
So even in the outside world, because you say it's an international game now.
Yeah, they're planning to incorporate it to Olympic. So we are planning to even join and make our impact felt. I'm very sure if you do that, a Nigerian will win, especially a Yoruba man will win.
Very sure about that.
Very sure of that. Because the level at which we are playing, we have deep depth into the game. Yeah, we have applied some mathematical equations, just like scientific laws that are not known to many people. Yeah.
So that will give Nigeria a Yoruba man an edge over anybody out there.
Yes.
So don't you think you need more hands on board? Talking about coaches, you just mentioned a coach to 15 players, and I feel the technical aspect, more coaches on board to help develop this talent. And also, how do you look for talent to come on board? Because the way you're saying now, according to everything you said, this game is going beyond what we're just saying now. Yeah. Before we get caught unaware, so that it won't be like it is only the old man at the end of the day that start representing Nigeria. So how do we go about developing young stars, finding talent, more coaches on board to develop the game?
Like I've said, the first thing is political will. Once the authority is interested, there's nothing impossible to a willing heart. So that's number one. Let's, just as what you have said, we need more hands. And the first thing we need is enlightenment. Because some people believe, maybe it's you. They don't know that it has gone beyond just play. You can become a millionaire if you win. So, and you don't win in a day. You have to put in a lot of energy. Just like you are writing your WAEC or JAM, you must prepare. So we need more hand, as you have said. And then we need to enlighten our people to have interest so that they won't stop They will not just be following Arsenal and Man
I'm
U
not
or
even about
all
it.
those. I don't belong to any personally, but I belong to your club. Yes. So that interest is number one. Once there are a lot of talented people out there, highly talented, that can come to the game and revolutionize it, just like we are doing. So we need more. Then to harvest them, like I told you, I have played in virtually every town in Oyo State and even in the southwest. We need to go to the interiors. There are fantastic players there. But because they don't have opportunity to come to the city, nobody knows them. Or nobody knows maybe they're existing. Nevertheless, we could still reach out to them through so many policies, like organizing some competition, like let's say Okeogun competition, Okeogun 1, Okeogun 2, Ogumosho, North Ogun. So anybody that comes first there, we now invite all of them to Ibadan. Then we're through the influence of coaches and other experts, we will restructure them and pick the best of the best to be representing us. But it's really, really capital intensive. But it's good if we do it. So we need more coaches and more hands to harvest and harness the potential that we have in the villages.
More coaches, one and more and okay. Another question from Prince, that question saying, is there any registration fee to join or it's just for free?
It's free.
Oh, so Prince, that way you can hear that. If you want to join the Ayo club, Ayo team right there in to want to learn how to practice and know more about it. And that we are saying the Lakers Salami Stadium is the venue, and of course,
Wednesday.
every Wednesdays from 11 to 2 p.m. And of course, nobody is collecting a dime from you. Nobody is collecting it. So that in case you're just working and somebody say we want to join and bring money, we are here for us. Just come and tell us. We'll file everything necessary to appropriate quarters. Our time is fast spent. 12:53. Less than 1 or 2 minutes to go. Like I said, I've been speaking with the chairman. Ayo Trado Sport Association of Oyo State, Dr. Faleye Joshua. We're talking Ayo, the game Ayo. Ayo look more like you all know. We discuss a lot about it. And it's been fantastic. It's been so exciting and informative. At this junction, sir, I have to say very big thank you for coming on board on this program this afternoon.
You're welcome, sir.
And I hope possibly maybe next time, if we still need you, maybe if there are competitions or something to talk about, then if we give you an invite, I hope we will have you.
By God's grace.
All right. So that is the size of the package this afternoon on Sport Drill, the voice for grassroots sports, right here on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Agbari Goniweke in the city of Ibadan. Many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyo. And of course, my DC on duty, looking at Baba Femi Obide. But like I used to say, sport is live, always endeavor to exercise your heart. And don't forget to join me at 3 p.m. tomorrow on Sports Tozo. We'll take a look at the UEFA Champions League final between PSG and of course Bayern Munich. That will be the debate stuff for tomorrow. Of course, I still remain in Raymond to Europe. But in case you have one or two things for me talking about grassroots information and queries, for 09026721042. 09026721042. You can get me on that number. Enjoy the rest of your day. Of course, have a lovely weekend.